Hi, Brie. Nice to meet you, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
No spoilers here, but now you're part of a big story that goes back to Fay Wray and Jessica Lange and Naomi Watts. How does it feel like to be part of this story? Is this some kind of responsibility?
I suppose so. I mean, it's another part of adding to this mythology and another part of history, so I guess so. But I think what we did was kind of change it in a way. You know, it's its own telling of this story. I don't feel like my character is necessarily related to my predecessors at all.
I call them skull crawlers. Why? Never said that name out loud before. It sounds stupid now that I say it.
I believe you're a big golfing fan. Did you get to play in Australia or Hawaii during the shooting?
I played in Australia a lot, and I played in Hawaii a bunch, so it was kind of great.
There's a story that you played with Donald Trump before, and he cheats in golf. Is that true? Is that real?
Yes.
Cheating what way? Like what?
Like people cheat in golf. You hit a ball in the water and say you didn't, or you find balls that are impossible to find.
Experience?
There aren't many people that I had talked about video games and
yeah.
bunch of nerdy shit with.
It's one of the best interviews whoever did at Comic-Con Experience, the one you did.
Me?
It was great. We just love talk about the games.
It's my baby.
Did the script change a lot during the whole production since the beginning? Was it always set in the 70s?
No, the first script that I read was not set in the 70s at all, but a script that ultimately I wasn't sure why I was the best person to make that movie. That's kind of when I pitched them this crazy idea of like choppers and napalm and Apocalypse Now and Kong and like Vietnam War with monsters, because I ultimately thought, well, I've never seen that. And so the script changed tremendously, and all those political elements, oddly enough, like that didn't change too much, because one of the things I was most interested in was the fact that, you know, we're in a climate right now where everyone's very confused because we're trapped in the midst of all sorts of scandals and riots and revolutions and distrust of the government, and yet the 70s was somehow this like insane black mirror of that same time, and that was so interesting to me.
I believe you've been to the set in Vietnam. It's a big shadow over the movie and over American history.
Yes.
What is it like to be there in a kind of a war movie?
Well, it's a place I never expected to be. It's a place I didn't particularly want to go when I was younger, but the people there are very forgiving, accepting, and going on with their lives brilliantly. They're very tough people, and resilient and happy. I think we're the first Western film crew to ever come into Vietnam. They were extremely accommodating, and they bent over backwards to accommodate us. And it was a beautiful, beautiful land.
Sorry for your men, Colonel. Get us home with proof.
I believe you did some kind of mocap for this movie, is that right?
Basically what it was is ILM had created a digital creature, and they realized they needed way more emotion in Kong. You know, it's not just as simple as having him just be a beast and play around that way. So yeah, I basically did the facial capture which gives him his emotion. You know?
You kind of look like a little...
I look like
Kong.
a monkey, yeah.
Do you see yourself an expert of apes? Because of course you did plenty of apes.
You know, like in the old days when you used to get a job, you used to start out as an apprentice and then a journeyman. Maybe I'm in the journeyman phase, but I'm by no means a master craftsman, you know.
I've seen him move. This guy, I've seen him move. It's incredible.
It's also some kind of straight out of Quantum reunion, because you got to work with Corey again.
Absolutely, which was great that we both got to kind of morph into new characters, but still, you know, go on this journey together that we started together, you know?
Of course, you did all these Star Wars movies, so you're used to working with green screen, right? Is that something that you get used to?
I've been imagining things chasing me and fighting things, you know, since I was a kid. That was one of the big kids games. You go to a movie, you come home, and you imagine that thing that you saw in the movie chasing people is chasing you, or you figure out how you're going to get away from it, or how you're going to kill it. So, and I read a lot, so I visualize a lot of different things, or terrains and people, faces, situations. So it's always fun for me to see how I can react to something that's not there or even there, so it's fine.
I have to ask you real quick about Captain Marvel. Have you ever met Kelly Sue DeConnick? Because she did the best Captain Marvel.
No, we've kind of spoken a little bit on like Twitter, but I haven't met her.
I believe you're shooting Avengers anytime soon?
Sometime, maybe. I can't say.
Why, God? Why?
The part that you play is part of this big company, Monarch Company, and became a big part of this franchise, this universe of movies with Godzilla and Kong. What kind of information they give you about this company, about this role that you play?
I wasn't issued any information about it. I just kind of made it up as I was going along. I didn't have a lot of time, so I just started inventing things based on his behavior in the script. Why is he doing the things he's doing, and just go from there.
One of the things, in my opinion, that turns this movie into life is the colors. It seems like a big, colorful comic book. Is that something that you need to fight for?
Yeah. When people used to shoot movies back in the day, if you go back and watch Top Gun, you know, they used to just like physically drop filters in front of the camera. It was great and it was beautiful, and so I wanted to selectively, like, not just saturate the whole thing, but really selectively pump colors into different places, because I just think movies right now they feel dull, and they just feel cold, and they feel desaturated, and I wanted the island to be a bit of a surreal acid trip. I wanted it to be this thing that felt beautiful, but still real.
All right, thank you very much. And it's a great King Kong.
Thank you.
All right.